Hey everybody, welcome to Guest Devo. This week is Mr. Robert Canen. I met Mr. Robert Canen when I went out to Montana to speak at a conference that they had out there, and he was pastoring a church, and they have one of the neatest ministries going, guys. We've led a couple of dinosaur digs. Well, we haven't really led them. I've just been a part of it, but Robert and his team, Tommy, Martha, have done such a phenomenal job for us on their dinosaur digs out there, and they've got a beautiful, beautiful museum from a biblical timeline of history, talking about dinosaurs, the whole works. If you drive through that area, you got to check them out. Glendive Dinosaur and Fossil Museum, I believe is the correct name. But Robert, thank you for taking the time to do this for us. And please, guys, check out what they're doing. Super good folks, great ministry.
Good morning, Carl, and all of you who are watching this video presentation today. My name is Robert Canen, and I am the director of the Glendive Dinosaur and Fossil Museum in Glendive, Montana. We are right in the heart of dinosaur and fossil country here in Glendive, about 30 miles from the North Dakota border. And we are a museum that's unique in that we present our exhibits in the context of biblical history, which simply means that we believe the Bible is an accurate history of the world and that the flood of Noah's day explains the fossil record. As people enter our museum, many times I'll hear comments from visitors that it would be terrifying to have been alive at the same time as these dinosaurs. Like Stan here, you see behind me, Stan the T-Rex. We have a head of that in our entryway as well, and people will make that comment that they can't imagine what life would have been like in the time of the dinosaurs. And then they realize that what we are saying is that we believe dinosaurs were created on day 6, just like all the other land animals and humans. So that means that dinosaurs and humans lived at the same time. And they will remark, how in the world can that be? Now, they are fearful of dinosaurs simply because they have been programmed to believe that. Their view of dinosaurs comes from Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, and all of the other educational videos that they've watched, and from their own imagination. So they imagine T-Rex going after anything that moves, or the raptors ganging up on them and chasing them relentlessly. That's their view of dinosaurs. And if I were to create a museum, just to give you an example, if I were to create a museum that illustrated the kinds of animals that we have today, and all I did was choose animals that were ferocious, let's say grizzly bears, tigers, lions, sharks, and all of those kinds of creatures, and I put those in a museum in scary poses, you might think that life today was terrifying out in nature. But again, we have life today, real life, to compare that to. And so we're not quite as fearful because we know that bears and tigers and lions and sharks even generally stay away from humans. You'll get the occasional attack, but it's rare. What if the same was true for dinosaurs? Well, we don't know. We don't know exactly how they acted because nobody was there to observe it. But what gives you that fear is the unknown. Now, think about today for just a second. This virus is sweeping our country and our world, and many people are terrified because they fear death. They don't know what's on the other side, and so they are scared to death. Well, I want to bring in my son, Alden. So Alden, would you come on over here and have a seat? This is Alden. He is 8 years old, and he has learned a lot of verses from his Awana program that he's involved in. And he's going to share with you 2 verses that he's memorized that I think should help us at a time like this. So go ahead, Alden. Share with us what those verses are.
John 14, 1 through 2. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house there are many mansions. If it were not so, I wouldn't have told you. I go to prepare a place for you.
Thanks, Alden. Thank you for sharing those verses with us. Those are really good verses. So I want you to think about that for a second. Jesus tells his disciples and us, let not your hearts be troubled. Why? Because Jesus is waiting on the other side for those that believe in him and trust in him. So anybody who put their trust in Jesus as their Lord and Savior, the one who died on their behalf and rose again, defeating sin and death, there is life forever with him. Even death shouldn't hold terror for us. Yes, there's still a lot of unknown about the process of death, and many people are a little bit nervous and scared about that. But ultimately, we don't have to walk around in fear. We can face even this virus and even the next day with confidence, knowing that God is firmly in control, and no matter what happens to us, we have life forever with him. And that should take away much of the fear that we would face. I've often said it, fear is the opposite of faith, and we need more faith and trust in him, and that will help reduce the fear. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me today for this devotional thought. And I also want to invite you to the Glendive Dinosaur and Fossil Museum. We are on the interstate, I-94, right in Glendive, Montana. And we do fossil digs. You can go out and enjoy God's wonderful creation and learn about the fossils that we dig up and dig up some yourself. And you can visit our museum as well. And we would love to hear from you. So you can email us, email me, robert@creationtruth.org if you have any questions. And also visit our website, which is creationtruth.org, and learn more about us. We are not open yet, but we will be open in the near future. And we would love to have you come and visit us. So thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you. Thanks, Carl, for the opportunity to share this devotional thought today.